journey. Qingdao in China to Seoul in South Korea. Lovely day it is too. Here's the Koreans who got absolutely bananas about the bicycle. We've been cycling this absolutely pristine cycle path past 50 kilometres on our way into Seoul, and it's just been wall to wall bikes. It's like being in Richmond Park. So much expensive gear. This is a rich country. We haven't been somewhere where people obviously have so much wealth for quite some time. Absolutely brilliant. Puts Europe to absolute shame, this kind of infrastructure. And so many people using it. To be honest, like, this is probably some of the nicest cycling we've had on the whole trip. Just this epic cycle path following the Han River. We're just heading right into the interior of the Korean Peninsula at the moment. Got some serious steep climbs in these mountains in central Korea, and the humidity and the heat, it's not a very pleasant experience. Outside of the big cities, South Korea is actually a pretty rural country at heart. Since we left Seoul, we've just been passing lots and lots of agriculture. These rice paddies on my right and left, pretty much everywhere, just following the rivers as they wind their way through these really steep valleys. It's only about 25 degrees. It's about 90% humidity, which means there's no escaping the waterfalls coming off my head, and just a general severe amount of sweating that's going on. Look at this. A bit easy really. Not a person in sight. Dead flat cycle path. Can't even hear a car. Some hills are just too steep. I can barely push my bike up this. If you're in the main tourist hotspots around the coast where most of the population is, you simply have no idea that this is out here. And it's absolutely devoid of people at the moment. End of a hard day's pedalling, and Mr. Duplessis decided he'd treat me to a night in the Love Motel. And this is the room of choice. They've given us a room with a bike, with decoration. A little gift pack left on the bed. Got a few of these. Some Toto gel. I wouldn't know what that's for. Yeah, various other rather alarming bits of kit. It's got to the stage where Johan goes so fast down these hills, he has to wait for all the traffic and drivers to clear before he decides to set off. Look at that ass, that's disgraceful. Meanwhile, I'm just holding on for dear life, praying that my bike stays together. This is the first time that we've slept camped by the beach since Turkey, and I'd forgotten what a pleasurable experience sleeping by the sea is. Bit of deja vu. Back at work again. This is where I used to work. That's the project. They haven't done much since I was here, so obviously missed me. Maybe not. Just coming to the end of our week, coming down the length of South Korea. This is Busan. Just had a little competition riding down from Ulsan with a load of Johan's workmates who have been looking after us over the last few days, feeding us Korean barbecue and lacing our drinks with soju. It's the sun going down on our time in South Korea, and it's been such a fantastic week we've spent out here. Just stunning cycling, and yeah, just really helpful and lovely people, courtesy of all of Johan's friends from BP. It's quite
bit sad. Feels like leaving home, second home.
Couldn't recommend this place enough, to be honest. It's one of the highlights of the trip for me, coming out here. Here we go, Japan! It's the 15th of September, day 148 of the whole trip. This is our penultimate country. Absolutely terrific hills out here on our first day. As you can see, someone's right at home. This is pretty typical of the Japanese countryside we're cycling through at the moment. Just these endless, rolling, forested hills with little rice paddies and villages tucked in between them. Little rural towns and villages that we're rolling past. Pretty sleepy places. There's barely a person around. I think this road that we're taking up this valley this morning has ruined cycle touring for good for me. There just can't be anywhere in the world that's quite as lovely and peaceful as this place at the moment. Japan is supposedly one of the most modern and technologically developed countries in the world, but there's not a hint of it out here riding through the countryside where we're going at the moment. This country is ridiculous. Every corner you go around, the scenery and the road just gets more and more beautiful. Hard to know what to say in a place like this. But we're in Hiroshima, and just over the water there, that's what they call the A-bomb dome, which is the only building left standing after the blast. It was right in the epicenter, under where the bomb was dropped, which wiped out this whole city. But as you can see, there's plenty of city going on around here, all around it, and this is the only legacy. It's a pretty tough one. Just going from one island to the next at the moment, just crisscrossing these incredible bridges, and there's just an absolute mess of islands out here in the inland sea. Absolutely incredible. Lots of fishing, shipbuilding going on. It's like a hive of activity. Still eerily quiet out here in Japan, even though we're along the coast. And all these lovely little sandy coves and beaches. Just don't see a single person on them or in the water. Check this out for awesome. Come up these massive steep ramps to get onto these bridges. And then go all the way across there, out to the islands. And woo! That's what we're looking at all around us. Look at this place. It's just a little restaurant we stopped off on the side of the road, and it's so cool. I don't know what we're eating, but it just looks awesome. Just laughing. Yeah. The food in Japan has been something else so far. It's so good. It's such a change from what we've been used to. For those of you interested in how my bike frame is currently holding up, well, we're pleased to see that in Ulsan the bike fairies came along, took my bike away for a weekend, and they came back with this. For those of you not in the know about bikes, this is not what a bike frame normally looks like. It's like it's got armoured plating all over it. It's like a tank. But anyway, yeah, some very kind and clever people have got this bike on the road again in ship shape. It's been riding for 4 days now. It seems to be doing pretty well, and I'm very grateful, because this at least gives me some assurance that my bike's not just gonna spontaneously fall apart when we're going down a big hill. We're camping a lot at the moment in parks, just because there's nowhere else to go really, and we just pitched up last night on the edge of this big baseball field. Japanese clearly like their baseball. Woken up by the noise of this dad and his young kid just practicing. Having to get up a little bit earlier than normal, just because of the way that the daylight hours are working these days. It gets dark around 6 o'clock, so we don't have anywhere near as much cycling time as we're used to.
I had a complete malfunction yesterday. Don't know what happened. I think I put it down to some sort of stress or something, but just had a complete breakdown and broke into tears. So I don't mind sharing that, but it's, I guess that's the reality. It's the first time it's happened actually. I think it's just the reality of what we're doing. Kind of heading home.
And one thing that we've noticed in Japan is that everything is miniature, including their streets, their cafes, these little restaurants just hidden away down these little alleyways, and it's just amazing. I think Kyoto definitely wins the prize for best city that we've been to so far on this trip. The pace of life in Japan is just ridiculously slow and chilled out. It's actually hard to keep moving. Just headed up into the mountains of Japan Alps, and after getting drenched yesterday and seeking shelter in this town, today's not looking much better. This is it, we've officially lost our marbles. We've lost it.
You just ruined my meditation now. No. Oh.
We've had to escape.
We've been 2 hours. We've got to start all over again.
We've had to escape into a Japanese inn from the rain, and now we're playing at dressing up in these weird kimono dressing gowns and pretending to be Japanese by drinking tea.
You're the one pretending.
The clouds are clearing in this lovely little mountain town after we've just been sitting out the tail end of a typhoon for the past 24 hours. The torrential rain still coming down this river now, and it's just been like being in a steam bath up here. The humidity levels have been insane.
This is what we've been climbing the whole morning for. Look at that. After 2 days of rain, the sun has come out, and suddenly these mountains have become pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's been quite an incredible morning. Climbed 1,300 meters this morning. Some of the most brutal climbing we've done, well, I've ever done, I think. Right in the mix of these Japanese Alps, completely surrounded by woodland, which we're probably about a week early, but otherwise all the leaves are just on the turn. It'll be absolutely stunning colours up here. Just over there, there's a nice hot spring, little bath. Some of the landscapes coming through the Japan Alps are so cool. This looks like a sort of an old volcano, with the lake as the crater in the middle. And there's just a great big town packed in all around it. Maybe it's just the time of year, but rice seems to be a much larger part of the landscape in Japan than anywhere else that we've been. It's obviously harvest time at the moment, as you can see down below me. Oh, there they are, hard at work, cutting away the rice and hanging them up on these racks for drying. Some of the roads we've cycled and the views we've had and the places we've been in Japan so far have been absolutely magical. But you're under no illusion that this is an easy place to come on your touring bicycle in particular. Yeah, in the last 2 days maybe, we probably climbed the guts of 5,000 meters vertically. Some of those climbs maybe like 700-800 meters at a go, enough to leave you, completely devoid of your manhood and feeling like you want to curl up on the side of the road and pretend you're not there. Why are there so many trees? It's just trees. Trees everywhere, non-stop trees. This part of Japan's not a great thrill if you don't like spiders. It's pushing up this path to find somewhere to camp, and there's these webs everywhere, just tons of these horrendous looking spiders all over them. Oh, really, it'd give you the heebie-jeebies. Oh, look at them. Oh, nasty little creepy crawlies. Don't fancy sleeping out in the open tonight. They'll go straight down your mouth. Blech. It's 8:30 on a Saturday night and still living the rock and roll lifestyle. We're camped in this office parking lot. So we made it to Tokyo and we're immersing ourselves in the full-on weirdness of this city. And look who it is! It's Matt McVicar! Ah! How did you get here?
Yeah, so welcome to the insanity that is Tokyo.
This guy's hand-eye coordination is something else. Welcome to the mania that is Tokyo pedestrian crossing. Just get hundreds and hundreds of people crossing at each time the green man goes. This is all now getting pretty trippy. What is going on in this place? Feels like we're in some kind of dream out here at the moment in Tokyo. We're just about to go into what they call a robot